Okay, so that's going to print out each individual score, but maybe what I want is I want the total. I can start by saying, well, let me create a variable total, and I'll start it at 0. And then inside the body of my loop, I can say, oh, total is going to be equal to the total plus that score. I run it, you can see nothing happens. Well, it's not that nothing happens. I ran the code, but I didn't print anything, and it doesn't return anything. But afterwards, I can print the total, and I get 76, which makes sense, right? Those give me 70, these give me 6, so my total should be 76. We're going to see this as a super common pattern where we want to combine everything together from a list or maybe even from a dictionary. And here I'm printing the total after I finish the loop, and there I'll explicitly label it as the total. And maybe I want to print the average too, and that'll be the total divided by the number of items. So I know the number of items is 6, but I could also say the length of scores. That's going to give me that 6 as well. And there you can see my total is 76 and my average is 12 and 2/3. Again, this is a super common pattern. Let's look at if we had the scores stored in a dictionary. Okay, now I've made that dictionary grades, and the keys are like the name of some assignment, and the value is the numbers. And now we only have 1 and 2. I dropped the 3 because I couldn't come up with another category. Okay, so those are my grades. I want to update my code now because there's no variable in here called scores. If I want to loop through the grades, that'll by default loop through the keys. If I want the actual values, I can say values there. And then my code works just like above. I'll delete that 3 too. So my total is 73 and my average there is 14.6. Okay, so now I've got it stored in a dictionary, but it's doing the same thing. And again, it's creating this kind of sum pattern where it's summing things up or adding things up. And as a reminder about dictionaries, I could loop through the items. So there I would get the name and the score. And maybe inside the loop, I want to print the name. Maybe I'll call this assignment is the name, followed by the score. So you can see grades is a dictionary. The key is going to be stored in the variable name, and the value is going to be stored in the variable score. Still at the end, I can print the total. So there I'm just showing how I can loop through the keys and the values. And maybe it's a little confusing that I'm using a colon there, because the colon is the thing that in the dictionary separates keys and values. But here it's just part of my print statement. The big picture is this pattern of adding things up from some collection is really common. Remember, we can loop through a string too. So I could do for each letter in S, let me print S. That's funny, I accidentally printed S, the whole string, rather than printing letter. So S the whole time will stay as team. Now let's try that sum pattern, but instead of using numbers, we'll use letters. So I'll say reverse of S. That's my goal, and I'll start it as an empty string. All right, now what I want is I want to say reverse of S is equal to the reverse of S plus that letter. And then here, let's print reverse of S. Let's check it out. Oh man, it's in order. You can see if I print letter in here, it went in order and then kept adding it to the end. If I put it before the reverse of S, then as I go through, I keep putting it before everything else. And so now we get it in reverse order. And instead of printing this, I'll print the reverse of S. So you can see it starts off as blank. That's that blank line there. Then I get a T, then I put the E before it, then I put the A before it, then I put the M before it, then I put the exclamation point before it. I'll delete that print statement. And you can see it just reverses it. S won't be changed. It still is team. And we've got this big picture structure that looks really similar to the one where we added up the scores. We have some starting value. We call that the initialization. So for total, I started at 0. That makes sense. For a string, I maybe started as an empty string. And then each time through the loop, I access an element and I combine it or add it to that accumulator variable is often how we refer to it.